we're going to jump into technology session. So this stuff's actually super important. Using My Mercer is going to end up being really important. If you haven't used it yet already, there are probably going to be some things that you want to do before classes start and things that you'll kind of continue to do throughout your time here at Mercer. We'll also look at Canvas and your Mercer email, different things like that. And seriously, if y'all ever have a question, you can raise your hand and stop me, put it in the chat, whatever. Pablo will kind of help me keep an eye on that.
Absolutely. And one thing that I want to mention is this is kind of dense information. So we'll send you all the slides after this. If you want to take notes, please do. We all kind of process differently, but know that we're going to send you all of these slides so you have the screenshots to refer to after this presentation's over.
Absolutely. So My Mercer, if it's my.mercer.edu, if you haven't already logged in, I would definitely do that today, if anything, just to kind of get a feel for what that looks like. But you'll come here, you'll go to your student portal homepage over here on the side, and then you'll get logged in. It's going to be your user ID number, so 1091, whatever they are anymore. There are a lot of numbers, but that like 9-digit number, and your password for My Mercer and your email is the same. So if you haven't already changed it, I think it may be your birthday, like year, month, date, I think is what it was, at least for me. But they give you a password, but you can go through and change that. But when you change it on one platform, it changes it for everything. So it'll be the same password, so you can kind of keep track. This is your home page.
Hey, Emily?
Yes.
Just so everyone knows, if you need to get into your My Mercer, you can email me or text me and I can force resend that for you.
Perfect. Definitely do that today if you haven't had the chance to log in yet, because that's going to be important. But this is going to be your home page. This is more or less what it'll look like, and we'll kind of break down some of these important pieces. Manage my account. This is where your bill is. So if you ever have questions about your bill, a pending balance, anything like that, you'll go through here and it'll take you to another portal so you can view that, pay your bill, all of that. Holds are going to be down here in this little message center. A lot of holds will be, so once school starts and it's time to register for new classes, you will most likely have an advising hold. And that basically just means you have to meet with your advisor, talk about what classes you want to take for the next semester, and then they will remove that hold. But any holds that you have on your account, whether it's parking tickets will pop up on there sometimes, if you have overdue library books, a very wide variety of things will pop up on there. And if you have a hold, you won't be able to register for classes. So that's important to remember, not necessarily for right now, but for the fall semesters, when you're looking at the spring and different things like that, you definitely want to keep an eye on those holds.
Especially the statement of student responsibility. Yes. It is the most common hold we see that students forget to take care of.
And that's super easy. It's just this right here. And at the time that I had done this, I had already filled mine out, but it's literally just going through, briefly reading it and checking a box, hitting submit, and that's it. Super easy. And if I had a hold here, I could click on it and it would tell me what it was and I could like go to it from there. So that's a super easy fix, but Pablo's right. We have students all the time that don't understand what their hold is, and it's super simple. But the state, yeah, go ahead.
A pretty common one also is from admissions if we don't have your final transcript.
Also important.
Shameless plug.
But it will let you know what it is. A lot of times it will let you know who to contact and different things like that. But if you ever have questions about holds, you can always kind of talk to our office, because we can kind of help you figure out what those are and help you know who to contact. Campus info up here in the corner, again, it kind of has a little bit of everything, directories, all of that's just over there to kind of explore. Academics, this one is important. Registration is up here. I'll go into that in a little more detail. my class schedule, if you don't know what your classes are, you can go over here and you can actually print out a PDF that has your date, time, location, all of that. So that's going to be over there. My grades, whenever your grades get posted, you can go back and look at what your grades were, and it kind of updates your GPA as you go along. So I can, as a graduate student, I can go back and look at each of my grades from my undergraduate semesters and kind of see where my GPA ended and different things like that. Online registration. This will probably, you will definitely use this at some point. It's this first page right there in the middle. You can click there, you can go up here and get it this way, just 2 different ways to access it. But this is going to be how you register for classes. And I can't walk you through that particular piece because I can't register for classes right now. But that's where you'll go to register for classes. And we actually have a video on YouTube and like our Facebook page that we have a student walking through registering for classes. So if y'all ever need to watch that, you can find that on our page. But that's definitely an important piece that you'll have to deal with at some point. My grades, I already talked about that and that. I went out of order. That's okay. Unofficial transcript. So this is down here under Self-Help Center. You can pull up a PDF of your unofficial transcript. And like for me, when I applied for graduate school, actually, even though I was staying at Mercer, they still needed an unofficial transcript. And so I was able to just download this PDF and send it to them in an email. So if you ever needed that or to look at credits that you may have transferred in, you can kind of check it on the unofficial transcript to see if they've come in. And honestly, I think if you needed an official transcript, you would go through the registrar and they would help you send that and different things like that. But unofficial, you can access that through My Mercer. Right there. There it is. Just a little PDF that'll pull up for you. Parking decal request. Mercer Police implemented this, honestly, maybe just within the past year. Now for whenever you are on campus, you will need to get a parking decal. But the way to do that is to fill out this request form first. It's just a quick little form. You would need your license plate number, make, model of your car, all of that. But you'll fill out this form, and then when you go to Mercer Police to pick up your decal, they will want to know that you filled this out first, and they can look up in their records to see that you filled it out. So this is just the first process, and then you can actually go to their office and get your decal, and it's a super easy process. But for whenever you're planning on getting on campus, do this before you come, because honestly, that's going to be probably the first thing you want to do is get the decal. If you're commuting, you have a certain color. If you're staying on campus, you have a certain color, different things like that. So that's going to be important. Order textbooks. If you have not done this yet, I would highly recommend doing so. And you can click this link on My Mercer and it will take you to the bookstore. You can click what session you're in, summer session 1, full summer session, whatever it is. You'll be able to click your session and it will transfer you to the bookstore. And if your professor has linked the textbooks that you need for class to the bookstore, they should be able to show up there. So that's one way of getting textbooks, and definitely do that if you haven't yet. A lot of times they have ebook options and different things like that. So that's a good way of getting textbooks. Health insurance waiver. This is super important. Pablo, can you explain this? I feel like you may be able to explain this one a little bit better.
Absolutely. So essentially what you need to do is if I'm not mistaken, and we'll send you a specific language on this because the dates change every year, but if you need to submit a health insurance waiver so that you essentially have external coverage outside of Mercer University, this is how you do it. I'm going to pull something up real quick on my computer. Actually, I have it in paper to make sure, because I never want to steer y'all in the wrong direction. But it says, let's see, all students are required to have health insurance coverage and are billed for the cost of core health insurance coverage based on age banding. And if you look on the Bursar's website, there's very specific information as to the dates. For example, last year, the insurance waiver process had to be completed by September 13th. And it's going to be a very similar date around that timeline this year. But it's essentially, if you don't waive that insurance by having your own insurance outside of Mercer, then you are billed for the cost of core health insurance coverage through Mercer University's provider.
Yeah, so that's definitely important. And I'll talk about this a little bit later, but we have a student health center on campus that students can use regardless of what insurance they're on. But if you don't want to, if you have your own health insurance and you don't want to get billed, definitely fill this out sooner rather than later. Again, it's an easy process. It does not take super long, but I would definitely put this on your to-do list if you need to waive that. Okay, so that's my Mercer. I would suggest looking at textbooks. Pablo, I need the laptop charger. I forgot to grab that. If you can bring that to me. I would suggest just kind of looking over this, exploring it a little bit, but you can find class schedule, the insurance waiver, textbooks, and I'll talk about this a little bit later, but you can access Canvas through this platform, Canvas login, but I'll get to that a little bit later. But this will help you a lot. Okay. Hold on just a second. So sorry. Okay, we will move on to the Mercer email. You can honestly just Google Mercer Live email and it will direct you to this page, and students use this Mercer Live box right here to log in. I would recommend bookmarking this because you're going to use it a lot. Yeah, I have it over here. This is screenshots from my laptop, but I bookmarked this so it's super easy to access. And I bookmarked Canvas because you will access these very frequently. So this is something else that I would try to do today because you haven't accessed it already. You probably have had professors sending you emails, honestly, either through this platform or through Canvas. But it will bring you to this page. Again, you'll input your student ID number, you'll hit next, you'll input your password, and then it'll take you to the page. And you can also set it up for your iPhone and your Android. So if y'all want to take pictures of this page real quickly, again, we'll share these slides with you, but y'all can take pictures of this page or something like that. But this is ways to set it up via the mail that your phone already comes with, or you can download the Outlook app separately. But it's helpful to have it on your phone so you get those notifications quicker. Okay. And Canvas. You can just type in canvas.mercer.edu and it'll pull you straight to this. You'll go to Mercer user login, ID number, password, all that good stuff. Yeah, it'll pull you to this page and you'll input it there. And
Real
then,
quick, Emily, I just want to take a second to welcome Jordan. Thank you for joining us.
hello.
Hello, I'm Pablo Valentin, coordinator of new student programs. We have M Step, who's our graduate assistant, who's leading through most of the presentation. And we'll make sure that you get caught up with anything that we would have started with already.
Cool. All right. So this is what Canvas is going to look like. Depending on how many courses you're, all of your courses that you're going to be currently enrolled in for the summer should pop up right here. You have all these tabs on the side. I'll walk through some of these. Announcements, when you click on a specific course, it'll pull you up to a page like this. Announcements are here. if a professor ever cancels class, or if you're doing class on Zoom and they cancel a Zoom meeting or something like that, it's probably going to go through announcements. So that's super important to check every now and then. I don't know what else I have on here. Grades. Everyone loves to see their grades. I will say I have had some professors that don't necessarily keep their grades super updated. It kind of just depends on the professor, but especially if you're taking assignments online, a lot of professors now just have you doing online quizzes and online tests through Canvas. So a lot of times those grades just automatically update, which is really nice. So you can see grades over here to the side. Files is where a lot of times PowerPoint slides or just anything a professor may have uploaded for you to access. A lot of times that'll be under files, and your syllabus will be over here too. Again, this is good to kind of just explore. Discussion boards are over here. You can see who's in your class sometimes, which is kind of helpful if you need to get put with a group project, because you can message them on Canvas and different things like that. So that's important as well. And let me go back one more time. Down here where it says inbox, this is a way that I think more professors have started communicating more recently. So I would check your inbox as well. Sometimes they send emails, sometimes they put announcements, sometimes they like do a direct message. So every professor is different. I have professors that do all three. But check inbox, because you can email your professor through that platform. You can email basically anyone that's in your class. You can just find them like that. So that's super helpful as well.